All right, we are live. I got to take that off the screen. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the show. Tonight's show, whatever, it's like a typical disaster. The flag's all fucking wrong. You might think, if you hear in the background explosions and percussive noises, you might think that I am, streaming from Ukraine, Slava Ukraini, or like I'm in the Ukraine in a war zone or something. I'm not. It's Diwali, which is a Indian fucking holiday where they give each other a lot of gold and stuff, and they shoot off fireworks all the time, and nobody bothers them because the brown people are allowed to break the law in America, so they can shoot off fireworks with no permits or anything like that. And so, if you hear that stuff in the background, again, I'm not streaming from Ukraine. I'm still in New Jersey. I haven't moved to Newark or anything like that, or Camden. But and any explosion noises and popping noises and screechy noises that sound like bombs going off. That's just Diwali. That's just the beauty of multiculturalism in action. And who doesn't love the Indian people and their charming ways? Tonight I got tonight's fucking stream title. Like, it came to me right before the stream. It was like a flash, and it's so fucking good that I want to use it as a channel name. If I can remember, like when this channel gets blown up and I got to restart all over again, I want Never Been Doxxed as my fucking new channel name. That's fucking awesome. That is the best fucking channel name you could possibly have. Like, how could you get a better channel name than Never Been Doxxed? It's fucking, especially if you're talking about this kind of stuff. If you're talking about normie shit, then it doesn't make sense. But if you're talking about stuff that's outside the polite society, outside of what's acceptable, Never Been Doxxed is a great fucking name. It's a fucking killer good name. And I don't even know. I was thinking about something like, I think there's a song or a TV show or a movie called Never Been Kissed or something like that, about a romance thing, like some kind of romance thing. I think it was from a couple of years ago, which now they would remake with a black transgender in a wheelchair. But I think there used to be something like that, or maybe it's a country song. I don't even fucking know. I partake so little in pop culture that I get it wrong, and I pay so little attention that I frequently get it wildly wrong. But so anyway, so let's on to more pragmatic affairs. Last week I was talking about Richard Spencer and how much he's a Fed, and Trad Dad, who's a subscriber to this channel, decided he wanted to argue with me about it. And if you go look at last week's stream, he's like, his counter to what I was saying. I guess he was listening after an after show. Was it? I didn't see him in the chat. Was that Washington, D.C. is full of DSA, Democratic Socialists of America, and Antifa sympathizers and stuff. The D.C. is chock full of that. And of course, that's true. It's been true since the fucking Franklin Delano Roosevelt was president. So that's really nothing new. But in the way he avoids my argument entirely, yes, they may be, the Washington and D.C. may be full of them, but there's no random fucking Antifa lone wolf attackers wandering the fucking streets at just the perfect fucking moment that Richard Spencer happens to be out doing an interview. And I'm going to go deeper into that. Got some screenshots. I found that video on YouTube, and we're gonna get into it. We're gonna break it down. I'm gonna show you that this shit is fake as fuck, and you need to go back and look at it again. You need to look at this again and understand that no matter what you thought about it when you first saw it, you need to look at it again and understand the entire thing is stage managed. The entire fucking thing, from beginning to end, stage managed. 100%. 100%. Trad Dad pisses me off because he doesn't engage with my argument. You know what I mean? He doesn't say, yeah, you're right. I've never heard of a lone wolf Antifa attacker. You never heard of that. Not before, not since, right? And what are the chances? Really, what are the chances mathematically that the one Antifa guy is ready at the drop of a fucking hat to solo commit violence just happens to be on the same fucking street corner that Richard Spencer's on? What are the fucking chances? The chances are 8 million to fucking 1. Higher, 6 billion, 8 billion to 1, right? 8 billion to 1. How many billions to 1? Quite a number. Quite a number. It's impossible. It is mathematically impossible. Gentlemen, this is mathematically impossible, which is why it's a fucking setup. So we're going to do a first screen share, and I'm going to show you what the screenshot is of the video you're looking for when you go look for this on YouTube, because you will go look. You will go look. You will do as as I instructed, or I will ban you. I'm probably going to ban Trad Dad. I just couldn't figure out how to do it before the show. But you have to understand that, I don't necessarily want you here. You know what I mean? You think that you contribute something to this channel. I want this channel smaller than it is. I'm now at 53 subscribers. I went from 51 to 53. I was hoping to go from 51 to 49. So here's a screenshot of the video in question. It's from ABC News Australia. It has 1.73 million subscribers. This particular video has 1 million views. It's 5 years old. It's Richard Spencer in Washington, D.C., standing on a street corner. You can see the white painted lines of the crosswalk behind him. Also, over his shoulder, you can see a black light pole, right? There's the blue square that says ABC News exclusive, right? And then there's Richard Spencer's head. And in between that is an octagonal shaped light pole, or a street light or street lamp pole. And that's kind of going to be important. Also, off Spencer's right shoulder, there's a black woman holding up her cell phone. You'll see she's black later, pointing at Richard Spencer. How she knows it's Richard Spencer and she should be filming this, I don't know. And then behind her is someone in yellow who's standing in the street. But anyway, this is what you're looking for specifically as a screenshot. Far right activist Richard Spencer punched during interview, ABC News. So that is what you're looking for. And this entire thing is a fake ass. It's bad federal theater. It's shitty CIA theater or Mossad theater or whatever. And I'm going to show it to you a couple, 3, 5 different ways. I decided to break it down and decided to play like what the movie? Do you remember Blade Runner, where the movie Blade Runner with Harrison Ford, right? He's searching for the evil robots that pretend to be human, and he puts a picture in his little computer at home, and he's having a drink. It's just like me. He's having a drink. Oh, he's drinking something else. I think he's drinking scotch or something. But he's like the film noir 21st century robot hunter guy, right? So in the movie Blade Runner, and he's like, computer, move left, and it goes dunk 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 dunk, move right, dunk 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 dunk, enhance, dunk 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 dunk, back out, dunk 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 dunk, to make the little noises, and he's looking at the photo, right? He's look at zoom in, dunk 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 dunk, and he's sitting there and he's drinking his whiskey and his Los Angeles 2019 apartment. And that's the movie Blade Runner, right? So everybody wants to do that, right? That's a meme on social media. It's on Twitter, computer enhanced. When you look in the back of photos and, like what's in the background of photos. So let's do that. Let's be Blade Runners. Let's be detectives of the future by looking at the past. Okay. So I showed you the screenshot of Spencer. And the whole video, by the way, the entire video is 27 seconds long. What is this? What happened? 27 seconds long. It's not very long. So if you tell me I don't have time to look at this video, you don't have 27 seconds, I'm going to ban you from this channel. You don't have 27 seconds, like 25 seconds you could commit to, but 27 seconds, oh my God, I'm too busy. Trust me, any of you fucking mouth off like that, I just insta ban you. and then you have all the free time in the fucking world. Okay, so I'm not banning enough people fast enough on this fucking channel, but the entire video is 27 seconds long. The entire video, 27 seconds long, and then about the 9-second mark, approximately the 9-second mark. This guy comes in. So here's Richard Spencer, right? The hand you see is his hand. He's standing directly in front of the pole. If you look just at the top of his dopey haircut, you see that black pole I was talking about, okay? Now, so the big hand you see in front of his chest is his own hand, but I made a red line towards this is the attacker coming in from the left, right? So at about the 9th, someone asked Richard Spencer about the Pepe the Frog lapel pin, and he points to it. He turns his head down, and he says, "Oh, Pepe the Frog, blah, 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 this and that." And he's looking at it, right? He looks at it, and you're looking at it. You're looking down and to the right, you know. And at the 9-second mark, at just about the 9-second mark, here comes the attacker, that blob in black that you see. And there's a red line that's up near Richard Spencer's ear that goes down to a hand. That's the attacker's hand, the attacker's left hand, which is wide open. It's not about to grab Richard Spencer. It's about to push Richard Spencer. And then further on to the left in this picture is someone in a yellow rain slicker that has a giant camera over their head. There's a camera person standing in the middle of the street. Now, I'm not a professional camera person. I don't work for the news. I don't work for ABC News Australia, or I don't work for any network news. But I'm pretty sure cameramen / camera women do not stand in the middle of fucking traffic. I'm almost 100% sure they don't do that. And then further, I'm pretty sure they don't shoot their subjects. That is to say, they don't point their cameras at their subject's back. I'm almost certain that they never do that. I've never seen that, okay? So this is a little bit odd. You have someone in very bright clothing. Do they know they're going to be in the street? Yeah, they probably do. That's why they're dressed like a safety cone. And they're doing something really fucking odd, which is shooting the back of an interview subject. Not the face of the interview subject, but shooting the back of the interview subject. Man, that's pretty fucking unusual. So anyway, this is the 0.9 second mark. 9 seconds in, this guy comes, and he's about to hit Richard Spencer. All right. So where's the this is a bigger version, a better, clearer version. First, perhaps you didn't see this. We'll do computer enhance. All right. Remember, we're playing Blade Runner. To look in the back of the photo. Look in the back of the photo to see what's what. So this has got more elements. A couple more elements here. All right, so I kind of enhance it. Computer enhance. So now you see the hand, right? Again, the big hand in the front of the screen, that's Richard Spencer's hand. The red line shows the guy who's about to push Richard Spencer. There's the weirdo camera person off to the left. And on the right, there's a dude holding a red sign. And it says, "Fight for socialism over capitalism," or something like that. And the guy's kind of peeking out. You can see the dude with the red sign. You can just see, it's tough to see. You have to look at the word socialism. The dude with the red sign is wearing dark sunglasses on a cloudy overcast day. Okay. Which is strange. It's pretty weird that he's doing this. It's an unusual thing to wear sunglasses on a cloudy day, on a cloudy overcast day like this day is. But he's wearing dark glasses, and he's holding a sign in front of his face behind Richard Spencer with his important message, fight for socialism over whatever the fuck, capitalism. And this is another amazing fucking coincidence that Mr. Socialism dude just happens to be walking around with the fucking sign, a pre-printed sign, a giant pre-printed sign, and he just happens to see Richard Spencer, and he just happens to stand behind him. Again, this when I point this out to you, right? When you check this out, like what are the chances there's a dude with a red sign right in that shot? And the camera person, the one in yellow, the second camera person, is shooting again Richard Spencer's back. How would you do that? How would that make fucking sense? You're shooting the interview subject's back. How the fuck is that? How do you get paid to shoot video of someone's back when they're supposed to be being interviewed, right? But that red line, this red line right here, the red line at an angle, is the hand that's of the guy that's about to attack Richard Spencer. So, now what am I looking at? Yeah, go, not that one. I just showed that. Let's see. I put these in the wrong order. Put these in the wrong fucking order. Okay, here we go. This one's good. This one's good. This will should make my point. This should make my point. Now, let's see. Computer enhance. So now Richard Spencer's been hit. You see that big pole I was talking about, the pole, the black light pole or signpost or whatever it is, right? So there's an arrow that's like peach colored. That's the hand that is pushing Richard Spencer. Richard Spencer is going off. He's going away to the right of the pole. And the pink arrow is the hand of the elbow that hit Richard Spencer in the face. This guy comes into the frame. This happens very quick, between 9 and 11 seconds. He comes into the frame. He jumps up in the air, hits Richard Spencer with a flying elbow. There's a meaty thwacking noise. There's a noise like this. You hear this. You hear Richard Spencer starts flying out of the frame, right? And that pink arrow is the fist of, it's blurry because the guy's moving. The fist, as this guy brings his arm back down after using that arm to elbow smash Richard Spencer, okay? Richard Spencer's going at high speed off to the fucking right. This guy is not moving. Now, if you look in the back, there's our yellow camera person again. The yellow camera person is now actually focusing their camera at about not where Richard Spencer is, but where he's going to be in about fucking 3 seconds. It's almost as if this camera person standing in the middle of traffic, as you can see, filming Richard Spencer's back, knows where Richard Spencer is going to be in about 4 or 5 seconds. Kind of amazing. And then right next to that yellow person is the black person, who's a overweight black woman who's remarkably quiet, which is very strange. Very, very quiet black woman who's just videotaping. She's videoing with her phone. And of course, her phone is directly in front of her face. But you can see the attacker has a baseball cap on. He has a hooded jacket or hooded sweatshirt on. And you can also see that he has a black mask on. This attacker is as masked up, as disguised, as heavily fucking camouflaged as he could possibly be. You can see the brim of the cap. You can see the hoodie. And then you can't see any facial features because there's a black cloth in front of this guy's face. Now, you say black cloth. That's pretty common today in 2022, what with COVID and all that. But remember, this happened 5 years ago. This was long before COVID. This was way long before fucking COVID. Way long before Antifa was burning the fucking cities. Way, way, way before all of that. Before Minneapolis, before fucking BLM, all of that. This guy's fucking masked up to the fucking gills, walking around on a cloudy fucking day. And he just happens to see Richard Spencer and takes his shot. Now he smashes Richard Spencer. He fucking smashes him. This is like, bang, he fucking really hits him, you know? But, however, Where is it? Where's the where's this next one? Nope, that's too far. Yeah. Well, okay. No, what's the other one? What's the other one? Yeah, okay. This one. All right. So now Richard Spencer's been hit. He's been smashed, elbow smashed with a meaty thwack. That meaty thwack is important, by the way. It's very distinct. You can hear it when the guy comes in at 9 seconds and hits Richard Spencer. You hear, I mean, it's very clear, right? A very meaty thwack. So this is about 1 second afterwards. Richard Spencer's been rocked so fucking hard, he literally flies out of the frame. So there's the pole again in the middle. Somebody starts rushing forward with the camera. I don't know who the fuck that person is. They're rushing forward. You see Richard Spencer, he's now flying out. You know, he's here in the far right-hand side of the fucking photo, right? He's just being rocked. He's been moved 4 or 5 feet away. Meanwhile, the guy who hit him is nowhere to be found. And the guy with the dark sunglasses, you know, the dark sunglasses guy walking around on a cloudy day with the red sign that says "Fight for Socialism" is now hiding his face. So it's like, oh my God, that was so terrible. I can't even watch. Right? The guy with the sign and the dark glasses, like, oh my God, that's so terrible. The Nazi guy, he got clocked. He got totally clocked. And now he's flown 5 or 6 feet from where he was standing originally. I'm going to hide my eyes. The cameraman who was interviewing Richard Spencer starts waving back and forth in the least professional fucking fashion you could possibly fucking least professional fashion. So where's the other one? No, there's did I show that one? Yeah, I showed that one with enhancements. I showed. Where's the guy? Where's the other guy? No. One more I want to show you. Okay, yeah. So as Richard Spencer goes off to the right, the camera swings to the left. I don't know why the fucking camera swings to the left. The cameraman starts to follow Spencer, and then he goes, no, the other way. So these are professional news cameramen. I guess maybe in Australia they do it different. But interestingly, the camera stays perfectly level the whole time, right? The camera stays perfectly level the whole time. So the camera's on a pole. Now, what are we back to? We're back to the yellow camera person who's now not looking at Spencer anymore. Spencer's flown off to the fucking right in the same direction as that taxi's going. But yellow camera person who was filming Richard Spencer's back the whole time now no longer is filming Richard Spencer's back. Okay. You got somebody bent over, right? There's a big black bag. This is a different person dressed in black. And they have a sign. They're reaching down to pick up their pre-printed sign. And their pre-printed sign says, "White lives don't matter." It's interesting. White lives don't matter. Another pre-printed sign guy who is on either side of Richard Spencer. When you watch this video, and you're going to watch the video because it's only 27 seconds long, you'll see on one shoulder, there's black sign guy. And then the other shoulder, there's red sign guy. And then there's yellow camera person standing in the fucking street. The big blur, the big fucking blob, somehow right next to the cameraman is some dude in a backpack with some kind of rolled up fucking yoga mat or something at the top of his backpack. Like, I don't know what that is. It's a yoga mat on top of a gigantic backpack. That guy was somehow standing right next to the interviewer, and he's blocking. You can't see the escape of the fucking bad guy. The bad guy, or the good guy in this case, the Antifa superhero, who hit Richard Spencer, you can't see where he's gone because backpack dude is blocking him. Backpack dude is blocking him, right? The guy, the dude with the black and white sign that says "White Lives Don't Matter," he's packing up shop. He's like, okay, all right, I'm, it's the show's over, and the show's very nearly over. The show is very nearly over, right? So where is it? You see the guy briefly. Yeah. Oh, he kind of bounces out of frame real quick. Someone actually tries to pull the guy's his hoodie off, but it doesn't come off. There's a noise. There's a little scuffle. They try to pull the guy's hoodie off, but doesn't work. And the guy runs in the exact opposite direction of Richard Spencer. Richard Spencer goes off the screen to the right. This guy goes off to the left. Remember, Richard Spencer goes flying 5 feet off to the fucking right, and the attacker never goes past the pole, which defies the laws of physics. So here's another shot. Here's our sign guy with his bag of fucking signs, because people walk around Washington, D.C. with a bag of fucking signs, pre-printed signs, just in case Richard Spencer happens to be walking by. And then here's this fucking backpacker dude, right? Here's backpacker dude. He's walking away to the fucking left. And again, you can't see the fucking guy who attacked Spencer at all. He's like literally just so happens to be perfectly blocked by backpacker dude. Okay. Then there's another guy here in the corner with the gray and black. He's a fat guy. He's a big fat guy. And with white sneakers on, right? And he's watching this whole thing. He has a mask on too. He's watching this whole thing and he doesn't even move. Like he doesn't even move. Literally doesn't move. He's just watching this whole thing, hands in his pockets, no worries, right? And now the woman that was filming Richard Spencer is now no longer filming Richard Spencer. She's filming the guy who attacked him, supposedly, who is now running off. So both the camera angle you're looking at, right, looks away from Spencer and looks away from the attacker. And this person in yellow also looks away from Spencer and looks away from the attacker. Amazingly, they both made that same amateur fucking mistake, at the same time. So basically I call this, show's over. And you can see the woman still, I think it's a woman. The person in yellow is a female. They're no longer standing in the street. They're kind of walking out of the street. They're walking onto the sidewalk. And following this mystery attacker who they could only possibly see. One, you couldn't see anything on the guy to begin with. But two, now since he's running away, all you're filming is his back also. So you're filming somebody's this is the backpack, this backpack dude and back camera person. Which I guess maybe Washington, D.C. is full of really shitty news people who don't even know where to aim the fucking camera and stand out in the middle of traffic. Maybe that happens. That could happen. I don't think so. I've only been through Washington, D.C. a few times, a couple of times at night. I didn't see a whole lot of people on the street, so I wasn't there at the rush hour time that they're there. Because you could clearly see it's rush hour. But where's the other one? And then what happens shortly afterwards, you have the camera goes back to Richard Spencer, who's holding his ears like this. He's holding the correct side of his head. He's also holding the incorrect side of his head. Now remember, he's just caught a fucking elbow that made him fly 6 or 8 fucking feet, 2 or 3 steps flying, even though the guy that hit him never goes past the pole. The guy that hit him never goes past the pole. So it's kind of in defiance of the laws of physics. The guy that hits him is dead steady and he just goes flying. But of course the guy shoved him, and I showed you the guy's hand is shoving him. He's not grabbing him. He's not grabbing Richard Spencer to fucking slam him. He's pushing him. And then strangely, you do see the crowd for a second, and I'll show it in a moment. There's a crowd of real people that are not in a circle around this event because they don't know what's going to happen. Also, there's no screaming, there's no yelling. Nobody's really surprised. Like nobody's not that much surprised that this is happening, right? Red sign guy is hiding behind his sign. Black sign guy is putting his sign back into his bag full of signs. All the thing because the show's over, right? Now, here's Rich. Will ask, can you make it to the end of the round? Like, if there's 10 seconds left. So here's this woman, right? Does her daddy work in the CIA? Or, did he get her a job at CIA or Mossad or whatever, right? Now here's Richard Spencer. He's walking away. He's just walking away. And just shaking it off. He doesn't say, what the fuck, dude? Whoa, why did you fucking hit me? No normal verbalizations. She's looking back and she just walks away with him. She's another person who's never been doxxed, right? She's walking away. She's just, she's following along with Richard Spencer. So that's really weird, and she's never been doxxed, never been identified, never been doxxed. So are all these people doing bad federal theater? Yeah, they are. On Twitter, I post a lot of these street crime videos. Post a ton of street crime videos. You see all the black people surround their victim, and they start screaming and yelling, "World Star, World Star!" And then there's a fight, right? And there's a big fight, and everybody comes in a circle around where the fight is. Just like all those people were in a circle around where the fight is. None of them seem surprised it was going to happen. Richard Spencer doesn't. I mean, I don't know. Maybe Richard Spencer gets punched in the fucking face every day. I doubt it. So he didn't even get punched there. The guy jumps up in the air. He elbows Richard Spencer, and the guy lands, and then he runs away in the opposite direction. Richard Spencer goes flying. One of the things about that meaty thwack, you hear it at, again, a 9-second mark, 10, 11-second mark, you hear very clear. The problem, of course, flesh on flesh. Our attacker, our Antifa superhero, right? He was all hoodied up. I don't have a black mask. I would put one on if I had one. But now listen to what happens when I hit my hand with the elbow. There's no thwack. It's a different sound, if you can even hear that sound. So when you watch this 27-second video, between the 9 and 11-second point, when Richard Spencer gets hit, you hear psh, a nice smack. You don't hear thud. You hear very clear, because it's a sound effect that was added in afterwards. You can watch this. See what I'm talking about. Say, well, who gives a shit about some fucking fake ass Fed from 5 years ago? It's important to look at what you used to believe, what you thought at the time, and do you still think that? Like looking at the COVID, people dropping dead from COVID all over China. You wouldn't believe that shit now. You'd be like, that's fucking bullshit. That shit was fake. And you go, yeah, those commies faked it. Yeah, they faked it. They did bad fakes. Not really worse than Richard Spencer's fakes. But you can check out that video. Like I said, 27 seconds. If you don't have 27 seconds, or it's too lowbrow for you to watch videos, the reason why I post all those crime videos is so you can see what happens and how to maybe, if this shit happens to you, you can understand how to avoid getting shot or stabbed or fucking beaten to a pulp. But also I want to see and hear what people do, right? I want to hear their, in the ghetto, they always go, what's up? 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 They verbalize the same things over and over. They, um, and they hype themselves up. They yell louder and louder and louder to get their adrenaline going, so they can get up the courage to bash somebody. You know, so that's the way humans are. You go, oh well, that's just the way low IQ black people are. But they make a circle around their victim, right? And they yell, what's up," or "World Star" or whatever, and or they go, "Whoa, it's going down." Except the white people that made a circle around Richard Spencer didn't verbalize anything because it wasn't a surprise to them. It wasn't shocking uh, and stimulating to them because they knew it was going to happen because the whole fucking thing was planned. The whole thing was planned. Red sign guy, black sign guy, yellow safety cone camera person pointing at Richard Spencer's back. You know what I mean? The fucking the ninja dude who comes in out of nowhere and vanishes out of nowhere, and you can't even look which way he went because backpack dude with the fucking bedroll is just happens to be blocking the camera angle at that point. There's the fat guy in the street corner watching the whole thing when the fucking gray sweat hood completely unmoved. And again, red sign guy and black sign guy just fucking happened to be walking around fucking Washington, D.C. with their bag of fucking signs that they're ready to hold up at a fucking moment's notice. It is the shittiest federal theater that you've seen in a long time. And I just want you to go back and re-examine it. And if you see the stuff I tell you, then you know that I'm right. If you don't see the screenshots that I showed you, look at the 9-second mark, listen for the thwack, watch Spencer go flying 7 feet in one direction and the guy who hit him just stopped dead. None of that ever happens. It doesn't happen in professional athletics. It doesn't happen in any street fight. But at the time you were like, oh shit. You know, right before Spencer gets hit, it goes, oh yeah, Pepe the Frog. He's looking down like this. He's drawing your fucking attention here, and you're looking down there. So when the guy comes in from the other angle, it's a total surprise to you. Watch it again. Stop it at the 9-second mark. Stop it at the 8-second mark. Stop it at the 12-second mark. Watch it again. Watch this piece. Watch what happens to Spencer, and then ignore Spencer and start watching the other characters in the background. I talk about selective attention all the time. It's a phenomenon where you focus on one thing and you miss everything else. You miss other critical information. So they have Spencer framed with that fucking pole right behind him. It's such a fucking setup. And once you learn to pick it apart, then it's fucking easy to pick apart. Then you understand how you got conned, okay? And you've always been conned. Now they're doing Nicholas Fuente or whatever. They're doing different ones, but yeah. And Spencer's girlfriend, whatever. He's she has never been doxxed. She's walking off while she's walking around Washington, D.C. with Richard Spencer after he gets hit. Eddie Hopkins, all 22 film. I don't know what all 22 film is. 27-second. Eddie Hopkins. I'm not sure I'm not sure what you were saying. Okay, so my man Kanye, a couple of weeks ago, I was joking around, and I try to be as absurd as I can sometimes because one, I see shit and I just want to try and make a joke out of it because it irritates me. But I try to be as absurd as I could possibly be, and I said I want to welcome Kanye to white supremacy. Welcome to the white supremacy movement, Kanye West, or Ye, whatever they call him. They call him Ye. And either the bug men are really closely monitoring this channel, or I just happen to fucking get lucky. And I think, to be honest, I'm just getting lucky with the absurd shit that I say. But this popped up on Twitter, and it is as fake as the Richard Spencer video, although this is just a still shot. As soon as it comes up, it's going to come up any fucking day now. Here we go. I'll take myself off the screen. So this happened apparently on the 405, which is a main highway through Los Angeles. I think it was on it once years ago. Could I ever do stand up? No, I probably should. I would do stand up if you could do it and have free speech, but you cannot do it. So here these people did a banner drop on the highway with multiple banners. The one on the far left, where the guy all by himself doing the Hitler salute, says "honk if you know." In the middle, there's nobody. There's a big empty space where the next sheet says Kanye is right about the Jews, right? Kanye in red, the sheet is white, the Jews are in blue. Okay, whatever. Then there's a whole knot of people, almost all of whom are in masks, by the way. Next to the thing that says Goyim TV. Then it says Reverend something, John something, I guess some Bible verse. Then there's an American flag. So there's 1, 2, 3. There's 5 dudes, and at the very end is a female who's also masked. So I don't know. Is one of those guys going home lucky, with Nazi girl tonight, or is she going home really, really tired at the end of this? I don't know. But I haven't driven on the 405. I don't think in I don't know how long. Like I said, I was in LA once in '93. Maybe I drove on that highway. Maybe I didn't. I didn't drive around a lot. I was driven by people for different reasons, mostly because I was drinking all the time. But here's the thing about this. Here is the thing about this. I do a lot of highway miles now, and I pass a lot of highway overpasses. Okay. And I see shit. I see banners and flags and stuff. By the time I realize it's there, I've just about passed it. You know what I mean? And I drive the same routes over and over and over. It's boring as fuck. And I'm looking like sideways. I'm looking everywhere, probably except where I should be looking. So here's all these people doing a banner drop, doing Hitler salutes, just to random passing traffic. Like anybody, no, trust me, everyone's looking down at their fucking phone, right? Or they're looking at Google Maps, or they're FaceTiming with someone in the car. Okay, they're not looking up at the overpass. I guarantee you 1,000%. But even more than that, whoever saw this must have had fucking eyes like an eagle, because they pulled over, right? Stopped their car, and they got this close to get this picture. Like, they didn't pass, or did you think they passed by, went to the next exit, turned around, got back on the highway, passed that overpass again, got off the highway, turned around, and then stopped in front of it? Did they like circle around twice just to get this one shitty photo? And it's a shitty photo. You can't really see anybody's face. Everybody's masked up, except the guy by himself all the way in the corner. Honk if you know. And there's another dude, the third dude, the dude in the middle, the third guy. He's got a baseball cap, dark glasses, and a mustache. You can't tell what the fuck he looks like. So somebody would stop to take this one photo, right? They'd be ballsy enough to do that. And they would, of course, take the photo at the perfect moment when they're all doing the Hitler salute together. You know what I mean? And it's a total, everybody I don't know, how long did they hold that for, right? So they take this one picture, no video, just one picture, and then they, get in their car and drive away. But the banner that says Kanye was right about the Jews is hilarious, because I'm wondering, like, okay, how does this work? Like, how does it work? Does it so Kanye, being the new neo-Nazi leader, the white supremacist leader, see, black people do a fist bump, and then white people do the Hitler salute. So is it, I'm trying to, somebody should explain this to me. Do you start out with the fist bump and end with the Hitler salute? Or do you start with the Hitler salute and end with the fist bump? How does it work? Does it go Hitler to Kanye, Kanye to Hitler? How does it work? Is it this to this to, you know what I mean? So any of the feds monitoring this, could you go through your shitty Fed op handbook and explain to me, is it fist bump to Hitler salute, or is it Hitler salute to fist bump? Which one is it? You know what I mean? Which one is it? The absolute shittiest of fucking federal ops. But hey, this is the world you live in. This is the world they create for you. To make any of this is actually fucking happening. And no, it is not happening. Okay, so Let's. What do we got? We got to talk about some other. We did Spencer. We did all that other stuff. We did all that other stuff. Okay. We got to talk about Bitcoin because there's literally nothing more important in the world than Bitcoin. Whether or not you know or you don't know. So this is there's a website and of course a Twitter account. And this is from Greenpeace. From Greenpeace, you remember them from the 80s, don't you, kids? Some of you weren't even alive in the fucking 80s. Some of you were not even alive in the 80s. So there's a screenshot of their special Twitter account called Change the Code. Right? There's hashtag change the code, hashtag clean up Bitcoin. Right? See that? Let's put the hashtags up a little closer. At Greenpeace USA, at EWG, and then there's the website cleanupbitcoin.com. So that's their Twitter account. Okay. And it's very interesting. Greenpeace being authoritative, they're quite the authority on, I don't know, the planet Earth and the environment, and they're not like me, right? They are not like me. Which one am I going to show? Here's part of their reasoning. This is good because you have to understand they understand much more than you because they're Greenpeace. They hug trees supposedly. They're tree huggers, right? And by hugging a tree, they have come to some esoteric knowledge that no one else has. And they pose this profound rhetorical question. Again, this is from the Change the Code Twitter account. This was tweeted out on October 19th of 2022. They tweet, a single industry should not use more electricity than multiple U.S. states or entire countries. And yet, that's exactly what Bitcoin is doing, all because they won't change the code. See, all you have to do is change the code. Change Bitcoin, and then you can save the planet. So if you think that Greenpeace knows what they're talking about, you have to be worried because they're acknowledging that Bitcoin has the power to change the entire world, right? That Bitcoin is going to gobble up all of the energy in the world unless it's stopped. That makes Bitcoin sound really, really, really powerful. That makes it sound really, really powerful. So does Greenpeace know something you don't know? Not really. So below that, so the first tweet in response is an account called Bitcoin is Saving. And he tweets, the fiat industry, meaning the paper money industry, nuked 2 Japanese cities when disarmament, right? When are you going to, like you nuked 2 cities in Japan. When are you going to disarm? So Greenpeace implies that the whole planet's going to burn up unless Bitcoin changes the code. So that's interesting. That's implying that that is implying that Bitcoin is super duper, super, super, super powerful, ultra super powerful, powerful enough to destroy the planet. To destroy the planet, really, or just the people that run the planet? Which one is it? They're not exactly telling you. They're not exactly being honest. So I want you to, when you go to changethecode.com, you'll see this. This screen share, we're going to pull it down. So it says at the top, change the code, not the climate, right? You've heard Bitcoin fuels the climate crisis. You've heard this. So, and of course, if you heard it from Greenpeace, which means they must be telling the truth. There's no way they could possibly be wrong, and there's no way they could be lying. So you've heard this. Now it's time for you to take the next step. But did you know a software code change could clean it up? That's all you have to do, just a few keystrokes. And then I circled where it says, sign the petition to tell big tech and finance corporations to stop Bitcoin from polluting the planet. Well, fun fact, big tech and finance corporations don't control Bitcoin. The people, the people behind this effort really think that big tech, I don't know who, Microsoft doesn't have shit to do with fucking Bitcoin. Who? Amazon? Who's big tech? Who? Tesla? Right? Who's this big tech that controls Bitcoin? They don't control Bitcoin. They have nothing to fucking do with it. Okay? Finance corporations, who? The Federal Reserve Bank? Citibank? Who are these finance corporations that control Bitcoin? Who are they? Right? But they really think that this is the way they normally work, right? They put some pressure on some pussy ass fucking CEOs who despite what you read in their bios are fucking literally fucking they have all the spine of a fucking wet noodle. Okay. Just get them to fucking change it. You have no idea what you're fucking talking about. They don't know what they're talking about. Bitcoin is open source. Anybody can make any fucking change to Bitcoin they want to make. Okay. You can make your own environmentally safe Bitcoin. You can change the code yourself. Take the Bitcoin code, change one or two things. There you go. Convince everyone that your Bitcoin is the real Bitcoin and is worth trading their money for. And simple, planet saved. You can do it. Everything out there, right, that is not Bitcoin is a ripoff of Bitcoin. 20,000 crypto projects are a ripoff of Bitcoin. There's Bitcoin 2.0, 3.0, 4.0, 5, 10, 20,000.0. Okay. You could make a hard fork, what they call a hard fork. Just fork the software and go. Bitcoin Cash did that. BSV did that. A bunch of other ones did that. They're all fucking shitcoins. They've gone to near zero. But you could do that anytime you wanted, right? You know, you don't have to call the CEO of Bitcoin, which, by the way, who does not exist. But what you're going to get is a shitcoin. What you're going to get is a centrally controlled venture capitalist, unregistered security, like an unregistered stock, an unregistered security, what's called a shitcoin, what we call in the common nomenclature, in the common parlance, coin. And all shitcoins are rug pulls. They are all rug pulls. As soon as you put your money in, the people behind it use you as exit liquidity and they get the fuck out. So this is from October 18th of 2022 from CoinDesk. They follow a lot of crypto stuff, Bitcoin stuff. Update, Aptos token, symbol APT, sold off sharply within its first hour of trading. So a bunch of people got together. They got a shitcoin. They hyped it up. They released it onto some fucking exchanges, probably in fucking Asia, right? Hype it. Come on, get it in. It's going to go to the moon. You're going to make $1 million. Everybody buys into it. And the insiders sell. They literally sold off in the first fucking hour. That's how quick the rug pull was. Not even one fucking hour. Not even 1 hour. And they ran away with your money. You can do this anytime you want. You want to make a new Bitcoin? You want to make the Greenpeace environmentally friendly Bitcoin? Go ahead and make it. Nothing's fucking stopping you. You change the code. Whoever's spending money on this, and I want them to keep spending money on this because they're literally wasting all their fucking money. I want them to waste millions and millions and millions on this. You're never going to convince us, to do what you want. You can't, right? They're accustomed to going to the leaders, right? The key individuals, the lawmakers, the politicians, the kings, the presidents, the prime ministers, having them enact the law, and then everybody goes along with it. But that's not how Bitcoin works. It's consensus. It's not democracy. It's not parliamentary procedure. It's not monarchy. It's consensus. You have to convince everyone, every single one. The people who hold Bitcoin, the people who mine Bitcoin, the exchanges who sell Bitcoin, right? And all the hardware makers for all the hardware wallets. You have to convince everyone that it's a good idea to go along with your change. If you don't convince everyone, then there's no change. It's called consensus. You've never experienced it. And to be honest, for most of you, you can't think about it, right? This is outside your ability to fucking comprehend, okay? You have a very small brain that only holds two shitty fucking ideas, okay? And you don't even understand them that well, to be perfectly honest. So consensus, everyone must benefit or nothing happens. Everyone must benefit or no change. Hopefully some of you can grasp that. Everyone must benefit or no change. It's an entirely different method than they're used to. Now, listen, Greenpeace and all this shit, this is all like, they want to hurt the oil companies. They want to drive up the price of energy. They want to extract more money up to the top. Nobody, I don't think, there are very few people see Bitcoin as a threat to the US dollar right now. They just don't see it. They don't think it's going to happen. They just think it's an annoying thing that's helping the oil companies and these energy companies, which they really want to squash because they want to create this electro fucking future, which, by the way, they can't do for 100 reasons, but not the least of which is they literally can't make the batteries for all the fucking cars and trucks, and they won't be able to move the fucking food around, okay? And if you have tens of millions of people fucking rioting and not eating, your little Agenda 2030 plan goes right down the tubes real fast. But they want a world where they can just shut off everybody's car, shut off everybody's lights, electricity. You've consumed too much carbon. You had a hamburger last week, so now you have to eat bugs, that kind of shit. That's what they want to do. That's their fantasy. But there's no infrastructure in place, electrical grids, power generation schemes, places where you can just shut off the power. Like in New York City, if they could send power to the Upper East Side and Murray Hill and maybe, I don't know, West 86th Street and a few other places, the Village and Wall Street, and shut off the power in fucking Queens and Brooklyn and Harlem and fucking, like if they could do that, they can't do that. But if they could do that, they would do that all the time. They would do that. They would shut off everybody's electricity and keep it all to themselves and claim whatever the fuck they would claim. But they can't do that. The electrical grid's not set up to do that. In order to make the electrical grid do that, going to cost a fucking fortune. Even if you had the guys capable of doing it and to engineer that, it's going to take forever and cost $1 gazillion. They're not going to spend the money. You don't have the skilled personnel to do it. So this whole fucking green agenda is going to crash and fucking burn in the worst fucking way. But their fantasy is to be able to hit a button and make you live in the dark and freeze to death. You know what I mean? Die starving and homeless. That's what they're looking to do. That's their thing. I tweeted out earlier today or yesterday. There's a guy wrote a book. Don't buy this book because you're too stupid to fucking understand it. There's a book called The Bitcoin Standard written by a Lebanese guy named Saifedean Ammous or Amnous. Ammous? I don't know what the fuck. Saifedean, they call him. Saifden, Saifedean Ammous. He wrote The Bitcoin Standard, and it's all about how Bitcoin's going to change the world and blah, 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 and how consensus governance will rule the planet. I'm not a school teacher. I'm not telling you to go to buy the book because you're literally, your brain is too small to understand the ideas he's talking about. But I've said, what we call money are paper receipts issued by Jews. That was the best. I wasn't really good with that. Doesn't roll off the tongue that well. Saifedean came up with a much better term, and a term that I'm fucking in love with and I'm going to use nonstop. And he calls the paper money you use, he calls it slavery coupons. And when I read that, I was like, oh, that's fucking genius. You're using slavery coupons. The world you know is based on how many slavery coupons you have. Who's better at collecting a lot of slavery coupons, and what did you have to do to get them? Okay. And what you can trade those slavery coupons for. A big house, a Lamborghini, a supermodel with an ass crack filled with cocaine, whatever the blanks, right? 2 houses, a beach house, a private jet. How many slavery coupons do you need, right, to get that? And what do you have to do to get those slavery coupons? All right. And those slavery coupons, the value of which is not controlled by you. It's controlled by the Fed. And you cannot, no matter how good you are at collecting them, you can't even pass them on to your fucking kids because there'll be inheritance tax, or they'll drive the value to fucking zero. So there really are slavery coupons. And that's a brilliant term, and I'm going to use it nonstop. I'm going to fucking use it all the time. Instead of saying, USD or euros or yen or yuan or fucking pesos or whatever. What are you doing with your slavery coupons? You fight, you fucking kill. Black people go into fucking convenience stores and shoot some poor fucking clerk over a tiny handful of slavery coupons that they're just going to spend on fucking a bottle of fucking Hennessy and some blunts. And you ache to do anything you can to get these fucking slavery coupons to buy something flashy to show people how successful you are. Absolutely fucking brilliant idea. Bitcoin is outside your ability to comprehend. You just don't have the brain power. Okay. Your brain can only hold a couple of ideas and weekly. But Bitcoin is beyond your ability to grasp. It's just beyond your ability to grasp. You know what I mean? And I don't care. I'm not here to fucking sell you Bitcoin. I'm not here to fucking sell you anything. Starvation and homelessness will teach you, or you'll die. And I assure you, I will not fucking shed a fucking tear. Not one fucking tear for none of you. It's your fucking job to fucking save yourself. You don't like to work and you don't like fucking risk. Oh, fucking well. Oh, well, because, life is structured in a very different way than you think it is. Okay. And when you discover that, there aren't a whole lot of fucking choices, but right now, most of you can fucking, can just skate. You know what I mean? You primarily, your lifestyle is provided to you by the efforts others have made in the past. And you see that threatened now. And that's why you want rice and beans Hitler. Although you don't have rice and beans Hitler, you got Kanye West. You got Kanye, Negro Hitler, Afro Hitler, who I guess black people are even better at being Hitler than Hitler. You know what I mean? You would talk about black supremacy. You know what I mean? You talk about melanin enhanced Superman. You know what I mean? The Wakanda, the Wakanda Führer. You know what I mean? Kanye West, even better at being a white supremacist than the white supremacists. Sad. It's really fucking sad. Anyway, that's the world you live in. That's you're locked into all that stuff and what they show you, and you think, I don't know what you think. You're gonna complain, and you'll get rice and beans Hitler or some other Hitler, and they're gonna make you a slave. It's just the slavery coupons are going to be issued not by Jews in a central bank, but they'll be issued by white people in a central bank, and then you'll be happy. You know what I mean? That's the level of dimwit you are. You know what I mean? And I say that because I want you to unsubscribe from this fucking channel. I like 53 subscribers is a lot of subscribers. It's way higher than it needs to be. I'm not being ironical when I say this. I don't want this channel to get big. If I wanted a big fucking YouTube channel, I would fucking go. I would just make a food fucking channel about barbecue spots that I fucking go to in Maryland or some shit like that. I would not talk about these things. I wouldn't talk about these fucking subjects. I'd be all happy, joy. Let's all fucking, check out this like food critic shit, because everybody's a food critic on fucking YouTube. I'd have a huge fucking channel. All the places I fucking go to, I could do fucking reviews and whatever, blah, 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 blah. I'm here, I'm there. Look at what a great life I've got. Look how fun this is. hit subscribe, hit the bell notification, blah, 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 blah. But I'm not doing that. I would rather talk about this, which I think is important, than make some bullshit fucking social media fucking empire. That's fucking bullshit. It's pointless. It's pointless. I don't think that that's a good way to fucking live my life. For what time that I have on this earth, in order for me to respect myself, I have to tell the truth, and I have to try to focus enough people on where the fucking life raft is, and then point to how to get in the life raft. You don't want to do it, you don't have to do it. Somebody pointed out that there are only 4 million Bitcoin addresses that have 1/10 of a Bitcoin or more. So 1/10 of a Bitcoin right now is about $2,000 of Bitcoin. So there's about 4 million people who have 1/10 of a Bitcoin or more. Now, some have an insane amount, like, Max Kaiser and Michael Saylor and stuff. Judas Fly Chai, base Persian mission guy. Welcome to the show, sir. You showed up late. What have you been doing? Smoking weed and ordering DoorDash, probably. What'd you eat? Probably. Can you get like Persian rice delivered to you in Los Angeles? Can you get that, like the rice with the potatoes at the bottom? Can you get that or no? If you are a based Persian Michelin guy, I would think that you would know the spots in LA where you could get some Persian food, But all that aside, I can get that probably. Well, you better start Googling, my friend. You better start Googling. Right? I can get that. Oh, look at him. Super determined. Now I got him charged up. Judas Fly Chai, like he must have had an espresso coffee before. He's very forceful in the chat. But seriously, I would rather do this than, like, I could probably find a Persian restaurant somewhere in the East Coast, and I could go there and I could be like, hey guys, welcome to the traveling, whatever I would call myself. Here I'm at blah, blah, blah restaurant, and I'm going to order this, and I could do like a popular food YouTube fucking channel, and I wouldn't have to worry about being doxxed, fucking my phone hacked, all the rest of it, right? I wouldn't have to worry about any of that shit. I could be popular, have tons of friends, get a pretty girlfriend to be happy and never have to worry about the Jews. I think there's more important issues than fucking e-fame, than fucking electronic celebrity, right? I think that there is. And for the people who need to hear this, I'd like to talk to them. You know what I mean? But if you're going to be a dick like Trad Dad, and I make an argument like I made with the Richard Spencer video, which I already went over, you're very late, Judas Fly Chai. Wignat for Jesus. Wignat for Jesus, Judas forces his sisters to wear a hijab. So what? A lot of people do. I was thinking about this. A bunch of people have pointed this out. When I was a kid, it was really common for Italian women to wear that because nobody dyed their hair back. Like in the 70s, old people did not dye their hair. When their hair went gray, they just fucking put a black fucking, they put a fucking kerchief over their head. And there were the old Italian women that fucking, all over the neighborhoods I fucking lived at, everybody's fucking Gumar had that. I mean, my mother, well, one, we were Greek, not Italian, and my mother wasn't that old. She wasn't wearing no scarf anyway, but that's not that fucking unknown. You know what I mean? People, this is one of those, like when Greenpeace says, change the code or you'll burn the planet. Some phony fucking authority tells you this is important, and you just accept that. You don't stop and question it. Like the Richard Spencer video that I dissected 10 different ways. You don't stop and question it. You just watch it, right? I drive up and down. I see people with their, these conservative jerks. There's a red bumper sticker. I don't believe the liberal media. Oh, congratulations, retard. It doesn't matter if you fucking believe it or you don't believe it. As long as you watch it, that goes into your fucking head and it programs you. If you don't watch it, then you're okay. But if you watch it and go, yeah, you liberals, it didn't happen that way. As long as you're consuming that media, they're influencing you, whether you understand it or you don't understand it. And you watch it and it goes by, and you watch it and it goes by. When you go back like I did and break down that Richard Spencer video, take screenshots, look at it this second, the 9 second, at the 9 second mark, at the 12 second mark, at the 15 second mark. What happens before? What happens afterwards? What happens with this guy over this shoulder? What happens with that guy over that shoulder? Why are there two people there with signs, one red, one black? They just happen to be holding them up. People just happen to be walking around with signs in Washington, D.C., just happen to be there the same moment that Richard Spencer's there. Like all of this stuff. The guy that hits him is fucking masked up, fucking hoodie, fucking got a baseball cap. You can't see fucking shit. He hits fucking Spencer. Spencer goes flying 8 feet. The guy doesn't fucking move. It defies the laws of physics. It literally defies Newtonian physics. But you saw it all. You went by and you're like, oh shit. Watch it again and go, hey, wait a minute. That's fucking fake as fuck. Look, that guy pushed him. He pretended to hit him. He pretended to hit him with this hand, and he pushed him with this fucking hand. And then when you see that, you're like, fuck, how did I miss that? You missed that because you're not used to breaking this shit down. You sit there. Where's my buddy? Where's my pal? My dude. My dude. I like this guy. I didn't even know this guy existed. This is a guy you never heard of. This is a guy you never heard of. JT. My man JT. JT who? President James Taylor, I think his name was. James Taylor? James, what am I thinking of? Not the guy who fucking sings Fire and Rain. That's a different James Taylor. Who's this guy? John Taylor. So I said James. I meant John. Excuse me. Pardon me. So here's a picture of an old dude with a really, really, really thick book. This is President former President John Taylor. I believe he has since gone to his Christian reward. This tweet is from September 2nd of 2020. But it is a quote from President John Taylor. And he says, "It would be to commit a crime which I would not willfully commit to gain any earthly reward, and for which would justly subject me to the ridicule and scorn of all virtuous men." President John Taylor on vetoing the third bank of the United States. This was the third attempt by the Rothschilds to set up a central bank. And this statement he made was in August 16th of 1841. So the Rothschilds looking to take over the United States from the jump, okay, that there were patriots who resisted this, who understood the European monetary powers, although they didn't call it out as being specifically Jewish. They understood that real freedom comes from being free from central banking. Okay, President Tyler understood that. They try to sneak it past him, but as you can see, President Tyler's got a really thick book there. That's a gigantic. That book. The title of that book, if you look at how thick that book is, the title of that book is "How to Kill a Buffalo," and you open up the book. And it says, if you see a buffalo, hit them with this fucking book. And they will. That's how thick that is. The thickest fucking book I've ever fucking seen that any president ever fucking touched. President Tyler, though, a patriot, right? A man who loved the idea of freedom, loved the United States, right? And when they try to fucking pull a fast one on him and set up a central bank, he said, no, I ain't doing it. I ain't fucking doing it. Okay. And this went on and on. The Civil War broke out, you know what I mean? And then the Rothschilds offered Abraham Lincoln, we'll finance the war at 30% interest. And Lincoln said, no. I'll issue my own state currency called the greenback. And we'll finance the war ourselves. We don't need your help. And of course, then he caught a bullet not long afterwards. But the greenback sponsored a political party, the Greenback Political Party, which lasted for some time. They actually got a bunch of people in Congress, but they ended up getting swamped, and they got folded into the Populist Party. And it didn't go terribly far, but the idea of state-issued currency lasted quite a bit longer. We know eventually the third central bank of the United States was finally established, the first two being wiped out by Andrew Jackson and whatever Aaron Burr by shooting fucking by putting a pill in fucking what's his name's chest, Alexander Hamilton's chest. Right, Aaron Burr and Alexander Hamilton had a duel not far from where I live, down in Princeton, New Jersey. And that's that, because Aaron Burr was a freedom guy and Alexander Hamilton was a central banker guy. So freedom shot straighter and faster that day. So thanks a lot, Aaron Burr, and up to President Tyler and even up to Lincoln. But once Lincoln told the Rothschilds to go get stuffed, he caught a bullet in the back of the fucking head, you know. And eventually, in 1913, we got what do we get? Where do we get it? Where do we get it? We got President Wilson. We got Woodrow Wilson, the worst fucking president ever. You think that everybody thinks that Biden's the worst president? No. Woodrow Wilson, the man who signed the fucking slavery decree. The man who enslaved an entire nation. Not like President John Taylor. John Taylor feared the judgment of virtuous men. Woodrow Wilson, not so much. Okay. President's signature enacts currency law. This was December 24, 1913, right before Christmas. The price of the newspaper was 2 cents at the time. Price of a newspaper these days is like $1.50 in New York. Wilson, President's signature enacts currency law. Wilson declares it the first of a series of constructive acts to aid business. Makes speech to a group of Democratic leaders. Conference report adopted by the Senate vote 43-25. Banks all over the country hasten to enter the Federal Reserve System. Governor-elect Walsh, I don't know of Walsh from what governor, what state, calls the passage of a bill a fine Christmas present. Right beneath the picture of Woodrow Wilson, there's a headline that says, Wilson sees dawn of a new era in business. And below that, aims to make prosperity free to have unimpeded momentum. Prosperity for who? 4 pence. He signed this with 4 pence. Prosperity for who? Prosperity for business. Do you think it was the local fucking mom and pop shops? Do you think that's the business that the Federal Reserve was helping out, or do you think it was Wall Street? We think it was Wall Street, right? That's the business he was helping out. He wasn't helping out mom and pop shops, little fucking restaurants and coffee shops and welding fucking places, and I guess they still had blacksmith back then. It wasn't small business. Aims to help business. Yeah. Help Wall Street take over the United States and eventually take over the world. Woodrow Wilson, the man who signed the third bank of the United States into existence, made it legal. The man who used 4 pens to legalize the slavery you live under. So Wignats for Jesus, probably a Fed. Alex Jones should have said it was all staged instead of talking about Sandy Hook. He did say Sandy Hook was staged. Most experts agree that Trump was the worst president we ever had. Nobody gives a fuck about experts. I don't give a fuck about experts. I don't give a fuck what college you fucking went to. I don't give a shit how many slave coupons you inherited from your parents or how much slave coupons the fucking federal government pays you. I really don't give a fuck. None of that fucking impresses me. Okay. You show up with a fucking argument or you get your ass kicked, right? I'll kick your ass in fucking public. Then I'll fucking ban you. Okay. You say some gay ass fucking shit like Trump was the worst. Trump was the worst fucking president. Trump was the biggest Jewish cocksucker there ever was. Nobody sucked Jew dick harder than fucking Donald Trump. It's all a contest for who sucks Jew dick harder. Okay. I mean, he should have said the Richard Spencer assault was staged. Who should have said that? Donald Trump? Donald Trump doesn't know a fucking thing. He knows what his handlers tell him. They tell him that Syria poisoned its, put poison gas on its own babies, and he just fucking boom, 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 launched the fucking missiles. Get the fuck out of here. None of them are what you think they are. Literally, in the way that the Richard Spencer assault video is not a real assault video. Nothing you fucking see and nothing they tell you about the people you see is true. None of it, none of it, none of it. They're not smart. They're not business geniuses. Trump went fucking bankrupt. Jared Kushner went fucking bankrupt. He bought, 666 Fifth Avenue, couldn't pay the fucking rent on it. You know what I mean? Alex Jones. Alex Jones was given 50,000 Bitcoins. Alex Jones was given a laptop with 50,000 Bitcoins on it by a man named Max Kaiser. Max Kaiser is not as smart as he thinks he is. He believed in Alex Jones as a truth teller, and he gave him a laptop with 50,000 Bitcoins on it. Even today, that would be worth like $25 billion, billion with the B. Alex Jones lost a laptop. Alex Jones lost a laptop, probably to a fucking meth-smoking transvestite, because Alex Jones digs meth-smoking transvestites. Trust me on this one. There is no organic fame. There is no organic fame. Nobody gets famous because they earned it. People decide who gets famous and who doesn't get famous. Kanye West, perfect example. As long as he was a good Negro, stayed on the plantation, didn't talk back to massa, everything was fine. As soon as he pops off about the Jews, boom, he gets fucking deplatformed everywhere, right? All the clothing companies drop him. JP Morgan drops him. He had $140 million in the account with JP Morgan. They fucking canceled him, right? So that's that. He owes $1 trillion. He's still screwed. Yeah, well, he doesn't have $1 trillion. He's never going to have $1 trillion. VQ back from last week. Big L for Jones. Virgil Doc, Purple Heart. Welcome to the show, sir. VQ, welcome to the show. The thing about Alex Jones is, and there's a video of him, of Jones talking about how Israel starts all the wars and attacks all their neighbors. Same thing with that guy, Joseph Paul Watson. Listen, these guys knew, but they made a deal. Shut up about this and you'll get rich and famous. And everybody wants to be rich and famous. Everybody wants those slavery coupons so they can buy a Lamborghini, the supermodel with the ass crack full of cocaine, the house with the pool, 2 houses with the pool, whatever the fuck you want. Like, that's real incentive. And the people that control that incentive control who wins and who fucking loses and who gets to say what. And if you say the wrong thing, they take your fucking money and destroy you. That's the world you live in. That's the world you live in. Adidas did not cancel Kanye. Not yet. They haven't. They will. Nobody stands against these people. Literally, nobody stands against these fucking people. If Adidas finds its lines of credit, it needs, a line of credit to open because the Vietnamese workers want 17 cents an hour, and Adidas wants to move their factory to Cambodia where they can get laborers for 9 cents an hour, but they need a bridge loan to move the factory because those damn Vietnamese are demanding 17 cents an hour to work, right? They need a loan, but they're not going to get the loan. You get the loan if you drop fucking Kanye. They'll drop Kanye in a second because getting the Cambodians to make sneakers and clothing for 9 cents an hour is more important than Kanye. You know what I mean? Plus they get the virtue signal how they're not anti-Semites. You know what I mean? Yeah, everybody makes money with him, but they don't make as much money as JP Morgan makes. They don't make as much money as JP Morgan makes. A lot of money to you is not a lot of money. One of the things years ago, I had a title insurance license in the state of New Jersey. So during the refi boom, people they had a high interest rate mortgage. They would refinance at a lower interest rate and save money. And this was a huge fucking thing. As interest rates dropped, okay, there was a refi boom, right? And in the state of New Jersey, you could refinance your mortgage 2 ways. One, in an office with an attorney, which cost about $1,500, or legally, you could do it with a title insurance agent, which only cost about $375. Okay. There was a state licensing exam. I had to go take some tests, and you take a test in a room with video cameras and shit. So to make sure you're not cheating and blah, 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 whatever. I took this class, insurance class. I passed it. I did a bunch of stuff. And so I ended up working for the guy that owned the school that I went to. So I did this, and I fucking made a lot of money at this. I was making nearly $100,000 a year, and I could have made more than that, except a bunch of people that I worked for were like, we're getting screwed. We need you to be the fucking point man to stand up for this and tell the boss, blah, 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 or else you won't work anymore, or you won't do this account anymore. So, of course, like a jerk, I did that. And the boss said, whatever, okay, just don't do the account. We'll make you do other accounts. At any rate, refinancing a mortgage, right? The average conforming mortgage, meaning normal mortgage, not a jumbo mortgage, was at the time $322,000 and under. Most mortgages in the U.S. were like around in the $200,000 range, $250,000 range. Okay, so fucking what? For you, the person signing the papers, $250,000 is a fucking enormous amount of money. Okay, for the world of banking and insurance and real estate, $250,000 is less than a drop in the fucking bucket. It's less than a drop in the bucket. People will be like, hold on, I'm not paying that $17 charge. Redo these papers. And I'm like, listen, I don't have the authority to do that. And two, this will just push this 6 months down the road. Oh, no, you can't do that. Listen to me. $250K is huge money to you. It's nothing to the world of insurance and fucking real estate. Nothing. Less than a drop in the fucking bucket. Chinese used to beef about this all the time because the issue is your old mortgage, right, or your current mortgage, they want interest on the money they have loaned you up until the day they are paid. The new mortgage, your new bank, which is loaning you new money, wants interest from the first day the money goes out. So there's an overlap. And the Chinese never wanted to pay overlap. I not pay overlap. And we're talking about $27 or some shit like that. Like unironically, $27, $17, $18 worth of fucking interest. And the chinks would fucking make a beef about this. That they wouldn't pay the fucking overlap. And I would have to go there. And I knew when I looked at the documents that I saw chink names on it, I'd have to take off my fucking shoes and do all this shit. And you can't sit across from them at the table because that's oppositional. You have to sit side by side with them on these fucking couches that are too soft and you're like sinking back like this. Real fucking pain in the ass the chinks were. I don't know. I not pay overlap. Listen to me. You don't have the power to stop or do anything in this deal. You can sign it or you can walk away from it. That's all you can fucking do. And I did this. When I say I did this thousands of times, I did this shit during the refi boom thousands of fucking times. I did it 5-6 times a day. Wig Nats for Jesus. Oh my God, you have to be such a Fed. You have to be such a Fed. VQ, they make a lot. Does Adidas make a lot of money with Kanye? I don't know how much Kanye drives their sales. You don't know either. Is he a popular figure? Yeah. Do black people make their purchasing decisions based on what Kanye says? Probably not. You know what I mean? If Kanye's got $2 billion, he really has Kanye's a fucking billionaire? Holy shit. That's fucking amazing. That is amazing to me. I didn't think he had that much money. And 120 million liquid. That's not very liquid then. Out of 2 billion, only 120 million liquid dollars. That's not a great deal. Which means he doesn't control it and they're going to steal it from him. They're going to find ways to steal it from him and punish him for daring to speak out against them. I wish him well. Unironically, I swear to God, I would go to work for this guy. I would train him how to fucking argue with these people. I would train him how to fucking beat these motherfuckers on TV. I would sit there with him, you know, like Mike Tyson was like the greatest heavyweight boxer ever. Mike Tyson used the same technique as Floyd Patterson. Floyd Patterson used the same technique as Jack Dempsey. Basically, Mike Tyson fought like Jack Dempsey. If you don't know boxing history, you don't know what I'm talking about. Trust me, the Jack Dempsey method is what Customato learned and taught eventually. Waited decades till he found a guy good enough to do this in the ring, and that was Mike Tyson. So he was the greatest heavyweight ever. Not really, no, but whatever. What Kanye needs doing social media is somebody like me. He needs me to be Customato. He needs me to explain to him how the Jews are going to attack him and how to fucking smash them, okay? Without using the same, without being explicit. And I could do this, and trust me, I could do this, and if there's a big check involved, a lot of slavery coupons, which I can turn into Bitcoin, it's not hate. It's not hate if you're getting paid. Remember this. Remember this, kids. It's not hate if you're getting paid. Put me in touch with Kanye West, and I will sit with him, all right? He's a bright enough guy. I can walk him through the arguments. I can show him how they're going to do, what they're going to do, and how to defeat that, and how to knock these motherfuckers on their ass, and have the Piers Morgans of the world, or whoever they put against him. You know what I mean? And I will train him for each interview like Mike Tyson trained for each fight. You know what I mean? I will fucking dial it in. I will go over fucking video of them, how they do what they do, and how he can fucking crush them. And he could crush them. Now, am I ever going to fucking be able to do this? No, but it should happen. To be honest, it should fucking happen. It's never going to happen, but it should happen. Because I could fucking mop the floor with those motherfuckers. I can mop the fucking floor with them. And everybody here knows that. Anybody here that saw what I did to fucking, like, the reason why the fucking feds keep coming into this fucking channel is because somebody tells them to fucking come here. You know what I mean? Somebody, like, they don't have their own ideas. Trust me, they're in a fed and God's green earth that has a fucking original thought in his fucking head. The Bateman, the sperm sucker, Norvin, the fucking cripple, and fucking Ovi, the pedophile. The reason why they jump in, like, there's a counter literally right up here, where it goes from 3 to 5 to 3 to 7 to 5, 3, whatever. Watch them jump in and jump out. Not because they fucking even give a shit about me. They're told to come here and to try and fuck me, right? They're going to screen, like, whatever. I blocked all these fucking people. Fucking loser, fucking. Nobody's couldn't do fucking content to save their fucking lives. Okay? Like, literally to save their lives. And they're told to come here, right? They were told to bring me to that show, Politically Provoked, right? Which I fucking shut that fucking channel down. You know what I mean? 8 weeks after I went on there and fucking bashed 4 or 5 of them at once. You know what I mean? Boom, that fucking thing went off the fucking air. Done. And Richard Spencer was on that channel, and a bunch of other dissident right people were on that channel. They all loaned their fucking credibility to that channel and fucking built it up. And I came on and the fucking end. Because Abe Foxman or Jason Greenblatt or whoever the fuck runs shit at FBI or ADL, they fucking saw what I did to them, and they were like, smashing the fucking keyboard. Get him. And it has to be, because there's no reason that any one of these people and all the feds that I blocked last week, Claire Carr and when she said it was John Vance, it wasn't really John Vance. And all the other ones that fucking come to this fucking chat and start shit. Why the fuck would you come to a fucking channel with 53 viewers, 53 fucking subscribers, and you found this channel? Really? You ain't that good of a fucking detective. And I wasn't born yesterday. Judas Fly Chai, based Persian missing guy. Brittany from PP is a fraud and bimbo. She works for CIA or Mossad or whatever. I don't know. One, both, neither, either. Her daddy's in the FBI. I don't care. The point is, they run these same crappy fucking ops over and over and over. You know what I mean? That's what they do. You know, does it work? No. Mostly it wastes my tax dollars. And if you pay taxes, it wastes your tax dollars. Okay? Which I don't know. Should we be thankful that it's not going to Ukraine? You know what I mean? Like, no. But the fact that I blew up that spot, as the brothers would say, Kanye would understand that. I went there, I blew that spot up. I fucking destroyed that fucking channel. Yeah, that's, Kurt Doolittle, politically provoked, whatever else, whoever else that I can fucking casually kind of destroy in the process. But my main goal is to explain to you, one, you were born into slavery. Okay. Woodrow Wilson signed you into slavery in 1913. The paper receipts you use are slavery coupons issued by a private bank, okay, and enforced by the government, okay. There is a way out of this. It's called Bitcoin, and that you should trade, well, you can, your slavery coupons for Bitcoin, and then custody it yourself. That's to say, get an electronic signing device and secure your Bitcoin that way. Where's the where is it? No, not that one, not that one. Come on, motherfucker. Oh, fuck, I don't know. I don't have it. I meant to send it to myself, but I didn't send it to myself. But okay. Part of the reason when you hear all these people crying, and I don't give a fuck who you hear crying, people talk about the shitty life. Life sucks. It's meaningless. It's pointless. It's a fucking transactional, scummy fucking thing where you feel worse. And why don't we build for eternity anymore? This is building for eternity. I don't remember. I think this is in England. I'm not sure where this is. See this? This is what a lot of you would call building for eternity, right? And people who are of European ancestry would say, look at what we're capable of. Why don't we build like this anymore? Why aren't there buildings made like this anymore? There's, whether you can see it or not, there's a shit ton of engineering there. Okay, not just to keep the roof from collapsing, but to keep the light coming in at certain ways. They looked at where the sun was, where they would put the fucking windows. The guys who built this, okay, trust me, they were not minimum wage workers. Okay, the skill set necessary to build something like this takes decades to develop, right? And that's not cheap, and that's not done on credit. Do you understand? It's not done debt-based. It is not debt-based. Buildings like this, or any other example that's similar to this, all of these buildings are built with hard money. When I say hard money, it's money you already have. You're not borrowing money from a bank to build this building. One, it's too fucking expensive. And two, you have to repay that loan. So that building has to make a profit. This building was built by someone who already has a profit. They've already profited as much as they need. And now they're going to take that profit and they're going to create this thing, this building, this extraordinary, complex, beautiful building. Because I already have the money. There's an existing pool of skilled labor and artisans who can create this vision I have, and I'm going to build it. And they did. Do you understand? Nobody borrowed money from the bank to create this building. When you talk about building like this, when you talk about building for eternity, when you talk about beauty conquering the world, beauty does not pay a mortgage. Beauty is hard money, not borrowed money, hard money that you own, that is yours to spend as you see fit. Do you comprehend what I'm talking about now? So the slavery coupons, whether it's dollars or euros or yen or pesos, or whatever the fuck you want to call it, lira, it's borrowed money. You borrowed it from a central bank and you have to repay it. So that's why you get, what's the way America is strip mall America. It's shitty. It's cheap. It's transactional. It's garbage food served in a garbage fucking place. Turkey is preparing to invade Cyprus and Greece. Yeah, they've been preparing for that for like 700 years. Trust me, they're not invading Cyprus or Greece. They fucking they don't have the capability to do that at fucking all. Like not at all. Now you're gonna make me like a fucking psycho. Like a psycho. Look for my where's that in my fucking news account shit? Here we go. I will address Mr. Hugh in the chat. This is how phenomenally responsive. This is why a micro stream, such as what you are currently experiencing, a micro stream is dramatically superior. Like V Hughes, like, oh geez, the Turkey's going to invade. Turkey ain't going to invade shit. Turkey can't fucking keep the lights on. Turkey cannot keep the lights on. But this, I meant to show this. Not that long ago. Let's see, how soon does it show up? I just emailed myself a screenshot of something that I intended to do before the show, but I look at all this stuff and I'm like, should I do this? Who even gives a fuck? But in terms of Turkey is on the side of Russia, okay? Turkey is 100% on the side of Russia. It is not on the side of, come on, show the fucking picture, you cunt. Urgh. Turkey and Russia are united against the West, and that's not going to work out for them. They've always been significantly behind the West in every measurable way. And this is still, why is it not going? Stand by. I'm looking at this. I'm looking at, where's my new photos? Where's my new mail? If at first you don't succeed, try and try again, James. Try again, James. You're running out of bandwidth. You're running out of fucking everything. I want to show you the reality of Europe right now is that Europe is the battle for Europe is an economic battle for Europe. Okay, it's Russia wants to supply Europe with gas. Oh, all right, it says it came through. Fucking cunt. Here we go. Yay. So who will control Europe as a slave state to extract resources, right? Will it be the U.S. or will it be Russia? And the answer is it will be the United States. And the reason why, and this is a vague threat right now, but in my entire life, I've never seen before. I have never seen these words put together in this combination before. So what is it? This came from, I can't remember where I got this from October 18th of 2022. It's very recent, very, very recent. Little blurb, a little heads up. So here's what it is. Greece contributes to NATO jets capable of nuclear strikes. So the words Greece and nuclear capable in the same sentence, never been done in my life. Now, this is a message to Turkey, okay, that Greece has the planes capable of delivering nuclear fucking weapons, right? It isn't saying that the U.S. is giving nuclear weapons to Greece or that Greece is a nuclear power. But understand, if you fucking push, Washington, D.C. will give Athens the power to nuke Turkey. Now, will they really do it? It's not going to come to that. But this is the first time in my life. Didn't Greece and Turkey fight in the 90s? I don't know that they did. There's a lot of internet rumors of what happens over there. There's a ton. I don't know. I have shitty information sources. I don't have any information sources that nobody else has. But there's indications that there's an island. There's an island that's like 2 miles off the coast of Turkey called, I think it's called Castellorizio. And the Turks sent special forces there to do something. And the fucking 19-year-old Greek conscripts fucking managed to disarm them and fucking capture them. Like 19-year-old kids. You know what I mean? Now, Turkish special forces ain't what you think they are. I don't think they really fought, but it's not. Listen, it's not going to happen. Turkey doesn't have the offensive capability. Their economy is collapsing. They don't have the ability to do sustained defensive operations. And the only reason why they took Cyprus is because, one, Greece didn't have air power. Two, the United Nations stopped Greece from pushing them into the ocean. They're not going to fight. They're not going to fight. It's going to be Thermopylae all over again. There's going to be a small number of Greek guys willing to fight to the death, and a whole lot of fucking Turks who really would rather not be there. You know what I mean? That's the way it's going to be all over again. You know what I mean? So, but you have to stop believing all this fucking hype, rumors of war, blah, blah. It's all fucking bullshit, man. It's designed to scare the fuck out of you. They're not going to do it. They're not going to do it. If they were going to do it, you would know. You have to stop believing these fucking rumors. The intelligence agencies and the banks that run them can pump this fucking shit out so fucking easy via social fucking media. And you're like, oh, I heard this rumor. You don't remember where you read it. You have to stop and think critically about all of this stuff. You have to stop and think critically about all of this stuff. Is that likely to happen? Would Washington let that fucking happen? Would NATO really let that fucking happen? No, they're not going to let that happen. They're not going to let it happen. It's not going to happen. They're just, it's bad federal theater for people who are foreign policy geeks. Nobody gives a shit about that. Nobody cares about that. You want to focus your fear on foreign policy. While you're doing that, the fact that the Turkish lira has gone from 14 lira for $1 US to 19 lira per US dollar. The Turkish government fucks with their citizens' heads and they're like, blah, 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 we're going to do this, we're going to do that. So it ignores their inflation. You don't notice. The US government does the same thing. And no, I would not worry about that, not for 2 seconds. Cyprus is not part of NATO. No, but Cyprus does have the natural gas fields, which are going to replace Russian natural gas in Western Europe. Okay. Here's the thing, unfortunately, involves Israel, but Cyprus and Israel are going to build what's called the East Med pipeline, which is going to be a pipeline that goes under the water, comes out of Greece, goes into Western Europe, and sells Germany, France, everybody else natural gas to heat their homes and cook their food and probably power their fucking vehicles for the next 50 or 75 years. And in the meantime, Greece has the only 2 liquid natural gas ports, like in fucking Europe. So American ships filled with liquid natural gas at an insanely high price, way higher than it needs to be, are docking in Alexandroupolis in Greece and pumping that shit into fucking, going to be pumping that fucking nat gas into Europe to replace the Nord Stream 2 pipeline that just miraculously blew up. Okay. Turkey wants Cyprus. Turkey's desperate. Like, the more desperate they are, the fucking more you start wars. You know what I mean? Because you're internally dying and you have to reach out to fucking go get something else. And you hope to find a weak, easy fucking victim. Where's that fucking where's that little screenshot? Where is it? This is something none of you guys fucking get. None of you guys get. It's when you see this and you read it all fucking wrong. You read it all wrong. The correct reading of this is Predators seek easy prey. This is the correct reading. Okay? When I say reading, I don't mean reading like that big book that President John Taylor had. Understanding fucking what's happening in front of your face. And what they show you. Put the screen share up. Put it up there any day now. Any fucking day now. Okay. When was this? This was just from the other day. Earlier in this month, October 6th, 2022. Charges. Man severely beat woman for wearing American flag t-shirt. You see a good boy who didn't do nothing. And he's just about to turn his life around. And he attacked a woman for wearing an American flag t-shirt. Okay. Couple of things. Weak people virtue signal. Really weak people virtue signal. You know what I mean? So the I Love America crowd, the MAGA crowd, which has no control and no influence over anything. The reason why they vote for Trump, or half of them vote for Trump, half of them vote for DeSantis. I don't know how it's going to go. They hope that everything's going to work out if they just virtue signal hard enough. This guy beat this woman, whoever this woman was, and you can be almost 100% certain that the victim was white, because black people don't wear the American flag. They're not big on the symbolism of America. He didn't beat her because she's wearing a fucking American flag t-shirt, but because she's a likely victim. She was an easy victim. He had an opportunity and he fucking went for it. That's why people really do shit. Trust me, he probably passed 10 jacked motherfuckers with a fucking pocket knife, work boots, and a fucking Glock on the, hidden underneath their fucking shirt. And he saw the American flag and he didn't do a fucking thing. He just walked right on by. But he saw somebody soft, weak, female, right? Unable to fight back. He, went over, probed, asked a couple of stupid questions, and got an answer that this person would be, submissive and not fight back. And then he fucking wailed away on somebody smaller, weaker, and incapable of fighting back. That's what it really is. It's predator versus prey. All of the bullshit about the American flag, about this, you overcomplicate shit that is not complicated. The world works on a predator-prey dynamic. The reason why America fucking destroyed Iraq, right, in 2003 was because Iraq didn't want to use the US dollar anymore, wanted to sell oil for fucking euros, okay, and didn't have nukes. We're strong, they're weak. Watch what we can fucking do to them and everyone else. It's predator versus prey. The reason why we don't attack North Korea, right? North Korea acts as belligerent as it fucking wants, and we don't say fucking boo because they got one nuke. The reason why we constantly fuck with Iran, because Iran don't have no nukes. Predator versus prey. Iran is easier prey than North Korea. Now, it isn't really easy. It's actually very tough for a bunch of different reasons, but we can fuck with them a lot more because they don't have a nuke, right? But North Korea has fucking nukes, and we don't. Whatever they do to South Korea, we just pretend it doesn't fucking happen. Predators seek easy prey. The more difficult it is, the less they're willing to fucking engage. That's the reality. It has nothing to do with your complex theories of hatred of white, something 2000, blah, 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 skin tone. Nobody fucking gives a shit about that. Nobody thinks about that. Okay? This is you coping. This is you coping with violence that you don't know how to cope with. Okay? That's what it really is. And that's why when you see these fucking shitty puppet shows like Richard Spencer getting attacked on the streets of Washington, D.C., when people just happen to be holding up pre-printed signs behind them, and there just happen to be 10 cameras around, and there just happens to be a circle of people none of whom are surprised by what's happening. You know what I mean? It's like, and then he walks off with some chick who looks like she's a fucking recruiting poster at Mossad, and that chick never gets doxxed. He gets hit, knocked 7 fucking feet down the sidewalk by a guy who doesn't move, right? The guy who hits him doesn't fucking move. There's no follow through with the fucking shot. Nothing that if you looked at physical violence would make sense. But you're just like, oh yeah, it's a complex neo-Nazi versus anti-fascist, blah, blah, blah. You get lost in all this bullshit complexity, okay? It's fucking stage managed from beginning to fucking end. It's stage managed from beginning to end. And you say, well, again, why are you obsessing about this fucking thing that's 5 years ago? The point is it's in your head and it's not true. You should dissolve the things that are not true. You should understand that it's fake. So, and hopefully you learn to think in a way that when something is presented to you, this happened, that happened, the war in Ukraine is going to go nuclear, this is going to happen. No, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not. It's not. It isn't going to happen that way. We're not going nuclear. It's not going to fucking happen. Armageddon right around the corner. While they print more fucking money. And you think, you go to the supermarket and go, wow, prices went up 20%, but thank God we're not dying in a nuclear war, huh? That's how you're being worked. That's how you're being conned. Stop buying into this shit. Stop. Just stop. When you see something like, oh my God, I think I should. No. Who's the source of information? An anonymous source of information? An anonymous source of information that's just going to happen to fucking give you the truth of this thing that you're really concerned about. Really? No. Nope. Ain't going to fucking happen. Ain't going to happen. Like I said, the Jews in Moscow are not going to nuke the Jews in New York. It's never going to happen. All right. If every Jew in America suddenly decides to leave New York, Philly, Chicago, Atlanta, and all the areas where they got their magic strings around the fucking city, if they all just abandon the city, then you're fucked. Okay. But if the fucking Hasidim and all the Chabad lunatics, if they're still running around doing all of their normal shit and they're just whatever, screwing people over and raising their rents and fucking, whatever, doing all those scummy things that they normally do, life just goes on. Stop being afraid of shit. Once you understand what to be afraid of, what you need to pay attention to, and what you don't need to pay attention to, life becomes a lot easier. But when you're caught up in this complexity, you don't understand who runs shit and how they run shit. You don't understand that. You don't really understand that. They're not going to kill each other. They're not going to blow each other up in a ball of nuclear fire. That's never going to happen. Ever. Not by accident. Never. So stop thinking that. And all these wars and rumors of fucking wars are just designed to fucking juice you, man. Just to get you fucking so you can't think straight. And they can run you like a fucking rat through a fucking maze to whatever conclusion they want you to come to. Because you're not thinking anymore. Think about it in advance. Be prepared in advance. Understand what's really going on. And that's too tough for you because it's too simple. You insist on it being complex and fucking no, you're retarded. I don't have any more tolerance for you people. I just don't. When I tell you can't comprehend the Bitcoin standard, it's because you need a complex bullshit that you think solves the world, but it never ever solves anything ever. Complexity is good for mathematics. It's good for engineering, chemistry. Like, yes, but you're not doing mathematics, engineering. You're not doing chemistry. You're not doing metallurgy. You know what I mean? You're doing bullshit. And bullshit is much simpler. It's way fucking simpler. Way simpler. I'm trying to talk to people in this fucking channel who understand that. If you don't understand that, go somewhere else. There's a million fucking channels out there you could go to. There's no need to be in a fucking 53 subscriber channel fucking YouTube channel. There's no reason for you to fucking be here other than you're a Fed or you actually want to hear something that makes fucking sense. You want to get lost in books? Go get lost in books. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. But don't come here and think, well, I'm gonna not engage your fucking argument and pretend. Listen to me. No fucking pretend fighting. I will fucking crush you. I will crush everyone. Because understand this. If you stand between me and what I want, you're getting fucking crushed. I'm rolling over you. I'm leaving you as a greasy red smear on the fucking sidewalk of the internet. I don't give a fuck what your intentions are. I don't give a fuck. Stand between me and the fucking truth and pay a fucking consequence, right? And part of that consequence, what does that mean here? I ban you from this fucking channel. Right? And you can go be with whatever, Norvin or Alex Jones or whatever the fuck you want. Go live in your fucking fantasy land. But this is not fantasy land. This is reality land. So, and it's not for everybody. It's not for, you're thin-skinned, you're faint-hearted, you don't belong here. You're stupid, you don't fucking belong here. You can't tell reality from bullshit, you don't belong here. Okay? And I will make sure, as soon as I find out, as soon as I ID who you are, I will fucking ban you. If I could go through the list of 53 subscribers that I have to this channel and make you unsubscribe, I would unsubscribe you. I would ban you from this. I really would. I really fucking would. Like I said, if I want to be popular, I can be popular. I don't want to be popular. That doesn't flatter my ego. Right now, flattering my ego means I want to tell the truth about shit. And I want people who are fucking confused and deluded to be maybe a little less confused and deluded. And if I can do that, if I can help with that, hooray. If not, whatever. But you don't want to. I started this video with the Richard Spencer thing, a 27-second video. You don't have time to look at what I was talking about, the screenshots, break it down and go, holy shit, it is different than I thought it was. Here's what I thought it was. Here's what it really looks like. You don't have 27 seconds. Then you know what? I'll just fucking ban you from this channel and I'll free up your time so you can have that spare 27 seconds to go out and earn more slavery coupons to spend on whatever shitty fucking fiat thing that they have waiting for you. You know what I mean? Some worry beads. So when you are afraid that Greece is going to attack Turkey or Turkey is going to attack Greece or fucking Ukraine is going to go nuclear or whatever they want you to worry about, whatever they tell you, just give us your money and you won't worry about this anymore. And you can go do that. You won't have to waste. You don't have 27 seconds to fucking waste on what I was talking about. Okay. I understand time is precious. I understand life is precious. It only goes one way. Time only goes one fucking way. So spend yours wisely. Spend yours wisely. Okay. And don't get lost in stupid, complex shit when it's really very simple. All right. 2 hours, 9 minutes. It's 11:38. It's 11:38 already. And of course, as usual, I got to go to work tomorrow. To VQ, Judas Fly Chai. To, what's this? Wig Nats for Jesus, who I'm almost 100% sure is a Fed. Eddie Hopkins. And who am I leaving out? My Virgil Dark Purple Heart. That's where I left out. I should never leave him out. Thanks for showing up, everybody. Let's call a fucking stream at 2 hours and 10 minutes. And anything else happens during the week, we'll talk about it next Monday. Anyway, good night, everybody.